or ERL GT7 Elite Championship. We're just about to start qualifying this evening. Weather is set to replicate the weather from the F1 race earlier today. We use this options available to make use of copying the weather. So it's warm, it's sunny. The tap temperatures will be quite high, but we have got a tailwind, as you can see there, which will assist the drivers down the start-finish straight, certainly. We ended up with 8 progressing from the GT class race earlier today. The luck is first on. So, provided everyone gets to the line, most of these guys should get 2 flyers in, maybe 3 with the 2-minute continuation. It's Lucky leading the guys out. We'll give you a quick run through the orders. We've got Lucky Egg, SH Dunn and the Aston Martin. All gone to traditional British Racing green colours for this evening. Chunky But Funky in the Audi. Highfeld, who won the GT class qualifying race earlier. Sure, give himself a bit of space before the qualifying lap starts. MG Dunn in the Mercedes. Haz in the Mercedes. Apex P7. Beeman P8. Panda in the Ferrari. The Filthy in Nissan. Nurex, who was the last qualifier through, in the Mercedes. Gloss Boss in the Corvette. Smiley, where is he? There he is, in the Porsche. Proper Stevo in the McLaren. Doesn't seem to like changing at that position, does it? And then Penelope, who's our championship leader, rounding out the field. But let's go on board, and Lucky is going to set the first qualifying lap this evening into turn 1, using all the track on the outside. Turn 2 you can't even count, even in a GT car, it's completely flat. But into turn 3, a heavy braking zone. I imagine this will be the prime overtaking area later. Riding into a car nicely to rotate the car. You see, not all the cars in practice like that curve, but you can see the Supra was able to just ride straight over it. Into the next heavy braking zone, downhill as well, to brake a little bit earlier. I'd imagine pole time will be either low 28 to high 27s. So about 23 seconds roughly slower than you'd have seen in the Formula 1 qualifying yesterday. And the ERL F1 tier race here tomorrow, where they'll probably go faster than real life. And I'd imagine the pole tomorrow will probably be in a 103. So it just shows the variety in speed. So far this has looked a tidy lap. So we just got the last corners to negotiate, making sure, do you stay within the track limits? It was borderline. This will be our first reference time. It's a 28.8. What can I say? Chundu beats it by half a second already. We'll skip to the back and just see what time our championship leader does. She seems to be able to just set a very quick time straight out the box. And our main rival from the last 2 races, Tiger, isn't here this evening. But this track might be a bit of a leveler in the fact that the tyre wear isn't so much of a factor, and this is where Penelope tends to do really well. When there's high tyre wear, she seems to just be able to go on and go on. Let's see how her time compares. It's down at the minute, and by a considerable amount. It's actually Smiley who's our pole sitter at the moment. Now, is he too close and Nurex ahead on this second flying lap? Is probably the question. The front brake disc there absolutely glowing, as you can see. Because you won't want to be getting dirty air. It's difficult because you get the benefit of the slipstream through the straights, but you're going to have to dirty air for the corners. But it should have enough of a gap. Obviously, in an ideal world, I think slipstream or not, you'd rather have a clear track in front of you so you can just concentrate. No matter how hard you try and focus on your braking points, your steering inputs, whenever there's a car in front of you, your eyes are naturally drawn to it. But it's fairly comfortable at the minute, so we'll see what Smiley can do on this lap, and then we'll flip back to Penelope to see if she can complete, because this is what normally she puts it on pole and disappears. So if she does have to come through the field, no, he's backing up to give himself a bit more space to have a more run of this. So what's Chunky doing on his second run that through? Improves, but only marginally. I felt it was super quick in the GT class. But the minute the lead GT driver in qualifying anyway is the filthy. But Panda changes that and goes straight into P3, right behind Chunky. So at the minute, Penelope's down in P8. Let's see where this second lap puts her though. And I think will she have time for one more? It's a P2. No, she takes the flag with that, but Chunky started his final lap. So I wonder if he can do anything about this. SH Dunn is closely behind. He's going to be having that issue of slipstream, yes, but dirty air to deal with as well. Can Chunky do anything about these 3 temps gaps smiling? Looks like maybe a slightly compromised line into there. So maybe that will give... He is up slightly. Panda's further along his lap. But again, is going to definitely be held up by the car ahead. So I think Chunky's going to be the first to have a go at potentially trying to break these front 2. Pushing right to the limit there. Looks to have got away with it. Oh, but SH Dunn definitely runs wide at the final corner, so that'd be him done. Chunky doesn't improve. Panda no chance of improving. I was a bit surprised that I thought High Front might be a bit higher. He had phenomenal pace in the qualifying race earlier. Papa Stevo coming in P15, I think he's going to be the last to cross the line as well. Can he improve at all? No, I think that's it is. So 1.9 seconds covering the field. Tight, but then it is one of the shorter laps on the calendar. I think Lucky will be disappointed to be down in P9. We saw his first lap look really tidy, but we shall see. We'll just give these guys a minute or two to get the strategies set. Where are we at? 8:29. It's a longer race, so we'll be nice and give them a little bit longer. We say 8:32. Just give some time. It's quite a longer race, so. So yeah, we've got Smiley on pole, Penelope P2, Chunky P3, Panda P4, SH Dunn P5, The Filthy P6, Glosspos P7, Has Nagel P8, Lucky P9, Highfeld P10, MG Dunn P11, Neurex P12, Apex P13, Beamer P14, Stever P15. As far as I know, Dad's okay. Obviously, I haven't really had a chance. It's been a bit rushed even to be on Discord. I think it was a disconnect. It's one of the reasons why generally we try and race early on a Sunday. We used to have some issues when we race late on a Sunday. I think it's because they're mainly getting everything set for the daily races on Monday, so it's not ideal. But since we moved to an earlier start time, we've had far less issues. But unfortunately, with England being on, we've just had to adjust the timings and take a slight chance with that. But yeah, in terms of the weather, we opted to mix it up. We thought as this race mirrors up the F1 race, we'd copy the weather from there. We're going to do the same at Spa in a couple of weeks. There's only certain tracks in Gran Turismo that allow the full dynamic weather. So we thought we would just, see how the weather plays out. It might have had a chance of rain, but at least then people can know the kind of rain so they can plan strategies. But then we are going to have some forced wet weather coming up soon at Dragon Tail and Suzuka, and then Nürburgring, our season finale, will be on random weather because they're going to be longer races. There's probably a decent chance of some rain there too, but we are going to be dry here. It's hot, it's humid. It will go cooler later on as we reach the latter stages of the race. But yeah, we'll see how this one plays out. The drivers should be set. We're going as soon as that clock goes over to 20:32. Bit of chat I can see there regarding potential impediments. It's hard in a 5-minute quali session. There's pros and cons. 5-minute quali gets us racing quicker, but it does mean it can be a bit of a mad rush to get your laps in and then necessarily back up. We're in a 10-minute session. You know, we have that bit more time. Always a risky race at Austria. That you've got opportunity for fantastic racing because there's lots of split streaming available, but at the same time it's very easy with cars having different braking points that we potentially have some issues, but hopefully everyone gets away cleanly here because we will soon be underway on the squid start. We are 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights and away we go here in Austria. Short run into turn 1, but Mercedes, as expected, has got a slightly better launch, but was there a bit of contact there? Again, the Ferrari's got the jump on the Audi just ahead of it. But Mercedes probably week in, week out now. These guys, whilst they want to fight and do their own race, if they let Penelope get away, you probably won't see her again. Smiley knows that Porsche has a weakness off the line. Once he can get everything fired up, he probably, based off what we saw, will give Penelope a run for money on pure pace, and I think the tyre will be less of a factor here as well. But for now, he's got to keep the Ferrari and Audi behind him. Or as you see, in a minute the top 5 seem to have really cut away. We should have a good view from the action. We'll quickly hop on board with Glossboss and the Corvette. Probably see drivers just the way their cars handle, they're taking the different lines through some of these corners. Oh, that's going to be a hard move to get done. He gets it done. Taking advantage, though, mentioned about different lines, but I think Junkie was slightly offline there, but he's going to try and come straight back at him as he into the fast right here. No, sits in for now. Looks like everyone's made it through intact so far, which is good to see. Chunky running a little bit wide out of there. Carry good speed, but he's got the penalty. Back to the front. Panda in behind Smiley. So Penelope's pulled a second. But the Porsche is a difficult one to get up and at first. They're both on softs. Tyre should be less of a factor here. There's a lot of talk. I think for a lot of people it might just be a one-stop, but we shall see. Ferrari in third tends to be probably the hardest on the tyres, as does the Audi in P5. That's on softs. So that tends why the Audi's gone on the mediums. Aston behind's on the softs. Will SH go for the move, or will he wait for the penalty? Saw some bit of side-by-side action further back here. Nuix and De Filthy. I felt down in P12 he drove so well earlier on, he'd be really hopeful of capitalise on that with a good race here. This is early days. These are make moves if you can. It's your best opportunity to make moves, but at the same time, you know, stay in the race. No safety cars in Gran Turismo, so it's going to be about a 55-minute race this evening. So make sure you stay in it is the key during these early skirmishes. Panda sticking with Smiley here. And the guy's really pushing those limits to the edge. Panda just does the fastest lap. But you can see tyre wear not horrendous on the Ferrari, which is one of the hardest on its tyres. So I think that, well, hopefully we'll balance the field. As we always say, we're completely neutral. Obviously, being a tier coordinator and a commentator, you have to be. But we just want to see battles for the lead. We had a dramatic race early in the Formula 1 for sure. Hopefully this finishes cleaner than that one does. But they're sticking with her. And I don't think she's going to have the tyre wear advantage she normally does, but we shall see. You're still got to factor in that she won't make any mistakes. So you're still going to have to drive damn well to beat her. But we shall see. It's shaping up nicely. What's happening behind? Ross has come through in P4. CSH Sun's got ahead of Chunky with that penalty. You're done in P7, his Mercedes teammate in behind in P8. The Filthy is still batting hard here. Highfield, I think, as I said, fantastic quality and race pace later. Probably just needs some clear air to show it. Nurex behind's got a penalty. Lucky's down in P13, so I think something must have happened to him. I know he didn't qualify fantastically here, but it's surprising to see him down there. It's a tasty old battle here at the minute in the midfield. We will get back to the battle at the front in just a moment. We just want to give attention to all these guys, but sometimes when you've got this freeway battle for the lead by the looks of it, yes we have. Smiley's brought that gap right down on Penelope. See the Ferrari's still in the mirrors. Oh man, that was close. Very close there under braking. Thankfully, I don't believe there was any contact. But just checking, so far it's even Stevens on the tyre wear. So it's been a lower deck track, probably represents the best chance for Smiley, I would say. He survived the launch, he obviously couldn't hold the lead, but damn good job. It's close, it's patience, you know, you're not going to get easy drive-by overtakes here, you're going to have to earn it. As I say, you're up against someone who, I don't want to put the commentator's curse on her, but I'm yet to see her make a mistake. No racing in the OL. Her pace is quick, but it's not the pace necessarily that kills you, it's the tyre management, it's the, as I say, the consistency. Rear left starting to wear a little bit now compared to the other tyres. But again, and if that can be managed just by the throttle inputs and the traction control. He's sticking with her. Front three have absolutely disappeared. Pace is outstanding. The Gloss Boss, SH Dunn, Chunky, you know, they've got those guys behind, they are no slouches. But these front three have just disappeared into another stratosphere. But it's tight. It's just not quite close enough to force anything at the moment. But just staying in the undercut window here could be huge. The laps are flying by already on lap 5 here, halfway through lap 5 as well. Looks like so SH Dunn's got himself to the front of the pack behind. Chunky's carrying another penalty. It's 1 second this time, just as he's right on the back of Gloss Boss as well. So that's unfortunate because you're going to see him in a minute. Turn to goes. MG gets ahead. Can he hold Has? Can for now. Oh, that's close though. The whole field's intact. There's a couple just a bit further off on the back, so we've got a few little splits in the field. But yeah, a bit of a ding dong here. Chunky's just trying to recover because I think on pure pace he's got these guys covered, but to see the penalties unfortunately put him back here. Who's going to break last into here? I think Haz has got the inside line and might keep it. Will Chunky try to switch back there? He's going to hang it on the outside. Oh, I hope that's not another track limit there. Steve O's still there from the background. What a ding dong this is. The filthy again, another one I expected to go well here, but the problem is now the field's so goddamn competitive that you keep saying you expect them to do well, and you realise they can't all do well when they're as quick as they are. But look, he's got a decent view of this front. Just Steve-O at the inside of the filthy, keep it clean through there. Bit of door-to-door contact, but they've both survived. Okay, just trying to seize an opportunity to start making some inroads further up the field. Battle at the front looks closer than ever, so we'll have to get back to that in a moment. But the filthy and Steve-O, bumper to bumper. Lucky's trying to pounce though, behind. It's moved into the last corner. It's hard because he'll want to carry the speed through, but he's got to leave some room for the field from the outside, which he does. I mean, despite the name, the filthy, he's an incredibly clean driver, so see some See if he can come back at Lucky here. He's gone from trying to get past Evo, not getting that done, and then being jumped by Lucky. But yeah, we need to get back to this battle at the front because it's still ultra close. Smiley slightly worse. Panda's rear left is worse. Penelope's is slightly better, so again you're seeing her time management stills here in full effect. But she hasn't vanished. Smiley very much sticking with her. It looks like unfortunately those tyres are just killing Panda again. I wonder if next season he'll divert from his favoured Ferrari. Because for the one lap performance, is it worth the tyre wear is the question. I know he's a fanatical Ferrari fan, but saying that, he's still in a comfortable P3 at the moment. I don't think he's going to have to do the extra stop tonight that he normally does, that can sometimes cost him a few positions. These two though, neck and neck. We're not seeing any moves at the moment. No, this is a long race, I'd say probably in around the 55-minute mark, just under an hour. And if anything goes wrong, there's no get out jail free car, no safety car to bail you out. So if you're going for it, you've got to make sure it's certain. It does look closer this time, but too far back for a move. Guys just look absolutely neck and neck on pace. So we'll see this time if Smiley can get anything done into next break and day. It's just hard. It just doesn't seem to, even in the slipstream, get a massive run. Yeah, these guys are close now. It'll be fascinating to see if an actual how this is all going to play out. Or Smiley nearly ran to the back of it there. I think Penelope was running a little bit wide, and sometimes you get this in this game. I don't know if it's a slipstream or if it's something in the game where you almost follow the car ahead of you, or whether it's just natural, but it does seem to happen quite often where if the car in front goes wide, it seems to drag you off wide with them. So you see Smiley there carrying #1 last year's elite champion versus this year's champions elect. I think if we're going to have a fight for the title, again at the moment it looks a million miles off, but he'd have to take the win here and say it on the lower deck track to try and give himself a chance. I thought we might see one stop. Now I'd imagine it was what Penelope's going for, so Smiley's got to determine can he dig it out and try and stick with her and match the one stop, because I think if he does two there's just no chance. Just don't think he'll recover the pit loss. I promise we will get back to this battle. It is fascinating, you almost don't want to come away from it, but we've got some other battles happening down the field that we need to see as well. So right, we've got Glossboss here. We've got GT class drivers in P3 and P4 with a whole load of GT pros behind them. So again, we've discussed this most weeks, how the gap between the divisions is really closing up. But Glossboss is carrying some rear bumper damage, which suggests possibly a tap from somewhere, but that will be compromising him. Mainly, you do lose a bit of corner performance, it does tend to cause more drag for the straights, which obviously on a place with 3 big straights is a major issue. We're on board with SH done. And the Aston Martin. And the left-hand drive Aston Martin seems very un-British. I do wonder then, yeah, what these guys are going to do. Are they going to two-stop? Go run 3 sets of softs? Do they do a soft to medium? I don't know. No mandatory tyres in the RL Gran Turismo, which actually I often say create more strategy options, because you can see people do different things. This is neck and neck now. Oh, a bit of a squeeze there, but the room is left eventually. Glossboss did pick up a half-second penalty there, presuming for track limits. SH done trying to get this done at the inside, which he does. Carries good speed through as well to help defend on the next run. Glossboss is going to have to watch because he's got the next done coming straight at him. He's in a Scottish done sandwich at the moment. Yeah, you see Chunky's often comments on the tyre wear in the Saudi, and the medium tyres as worn as some of the soft tyres around him. I suspect, yeah, the lucky softs aren't as worn as Chunky's mediums. Oh dear. And if you're lucky, I just ran out of room there, or was run out of room, one of the two, but it was unfortunate the two commentating partners for our sprinters just having a little bit of contact there. Tricky when it's not always possible to leave room on the outside if the move's done quite late. I'm not saying that it was there, but sometimes you're already committed to the speed you're carrying through the corner. At that point, the speed you're carrying through is the speed you're carrying through. You can't suddenly manufacture less speed so you can come off a bit earlier. It's a bit squirrely out of there, the Audi. Right, let's get back to it. So the gap's opened up a little bit. Still in reach, but now later in the stint the tyre wear's becoming more of a factor. So is he just going to go maybe lap 12, 24 to the two stop? I think that the issue is, I think plenty of people go to lap 17, 18 and one stop it. So can he afford to give a pit stop away to her, or is it just worth going through the pain barrier late in the stint? They've dropped Panda, who in turn is getting caught behind. You can see mainly why. And his rear left tyre is absolutely shot to pieces. But yeah, this is probably the battle to watch in it. Oh, Chunks picks up another penalty. It's very unfortunate for him. A lot of guys here where you think they could probably finish potentially anywhere from P4 to P12, probably looking at this gap here. So there's a lot to fight for here. Chunky, this one's going to really hurt him. Let's just see from the Filthy's perspective, he should have a good view of a lot of this. So yeah, Chunky serving the penalty at the minute. How many places will he lose? Thankfully doesn't move straight back over onto Filthy, but Filthy leaves room on the inside. As I say, Chunky's going to pit at this point, so he's going to the two stop. But yeah, you're in a tricky position here because trying to get a move done when the car's headed this close can be really hard, because obviously if you go too deep in the car in front, you pass the car in front, but you don't want to run into the car in front of that one. It can be tricky. But what a view we have here. The Toyota was nearly on the grass. McLaren is in the McLaren situation, trying to get moved on the outside of Highfield. But now, again, we've seen this a lot, haven't we, where he has to go from trying to get the move done to now difficultly trying to see, can I sneak past the person that was just trying to get the move done the car ahead. So you're forever going from the hunter to the hunted. Just falling off the back of this, let's just get back in. So lucky trying to get the move done, his good friend and fellow staff member Highfield. Great band to each other. Sometimes I think we've known each other for years, but I think it hasn't been that long really. We're only in our second full season of the Elite Championship. Yeah, it feels like we've raced these guys for absolutely years and years. Proper Steve though heads this queue. Again, McLaren, one of the kinder cars on its tyres, which you're really seeing the benefit of here. And sometimes it's not just the tyre wear itself, it's the ability to drive on warm tyres, which the McLaren, Mercedes, and to be fair, the Jaguar Super 2. Oh, but Hyper's now got half the pace. This track was an absolute killer. At some circuits, the Gran Turismo penalty system is quite favourable, but this is very similar to the F1 track that's here, brutal. Right, this looks like a phenomenal battle, particularly as Highfield's about to serve a penalty, which might, that's only half a second, the momentum loss might put him right to the back. Actually, we'll stick with this one for now, because I can see on the mini-map there's a slight gap between Penelope and Smiley now, but I'm happy to see that Smiley stayed out. I think it's the way to go. Yes, he'll be losing time, but he's got to match on the straight. Oh, I talked too soon. He has gone for it. We saw last week he did the extra stop and was nearly catching her. And I do wonder when we go back to our races next week, whether if he'd have had those extra 5 minutes last week, whether it'd been enough to get to him done. Oh, Glossboss in front is a hell of a moment there. Highfield didn't end there, only lost one position. Lucky, oh, it's a huge moment at the last corner, which will put the Filthy right on him. Look at these guys, there's barely anything covering them. But the Filthy here, what does he do? Does he go and make this 3 wide? Is there room to make this 3 wide? Everybody's want to get to the outside, sorry, the inside, but someone's going to have to take the outside. Oh, it's all so far so good. Steve runs a bit wide on the exit. Oh my word. Oh, Steve-O moves over onto Filthy. That looked a bit iffy. Hard minute. It's hard racing. So you got a lot of guys in here fighting each other. A very good friend. Oh, crikey, it's tasty. And very spicy. Steve-O now with the half second penalty. These guys who've taken it in turns. Eiffel's got himself into P6 though. We said earlier that we felt we had really strong pace. He just had to try and get into some clean air, which he certainly hasn't managed yet, but that's because this battle has been ferocious here in the midfield. Again, he's easily going to be able to do the 1 stop, as you can see from his tyre wear. I imagine all of these guys will be able to. Corvette ahead is a car, again, that tends to struggle on its tyres. But yeah, looking Highfield really jawing us out. Very good friends off the track, but as you saw earlier, oh, Highfield another half-second penalty. As you saw with Lando and Max earlier, good friends on track, off track, sorry, but on track, fierce competitors. Hopefully we'll have no punches here. But yeah, that's going to cost Highfield at least 1 position. Did Steve-O's fallen off the back a little bit now. This is the problem Smiley's got. He's probably committed an extra stop. So it's not just, he's going to lose time in the pit stop, and then he's going to lose time through this traffic. Sometimes here the smart play is just to let the faster car go. It's not always the play that every driver will make. Again, it's GT racing, they race hard. And that's not saying that people aren't sensible, but sometimes, but I don't think Steve-O thought that too hard. That isn't his race. But it's not going to be so easy for Smiley when he comes up against that next batch. And this is the thing that Penelope constantly drags herself away from by being able to be the last person to pit most of the time. That looks tight from Steve-O there on the track limits. But these guys are closing in now on Glossboss ahead. So they're trying to. Oh, is that going to be? Is that turn? It's going to be half second again. He survived it at the minute. We shall see. Nope, it's another penalty. Highfield's got great pace here, but at the minute just hurt himself with these penalties. Oh, Lucky's having a real squirrel there. I don't know if that was contact or traction or what. Glossboss, he was trying to just run his own race, got that rear bumper damage, tyres are shot to pieces, but obviously committed to the 1 stop now. He's about to have an absolute pack of Hungary GT cars on his already damaged bumper. Lucky and Highfield are still jawing like crazy behind. Highfield trying to send it back at the inside, backs out of that. In a minute he's going to be slowing down as well. It's going to be killer for him. It will be aided Smiley. Smiley right now is thinking, oh man, when are these guys going to pit? Because what does he do? Does he push like crazy to try and get past them, or does he know they're going to pit soon and conserve his tyres so he can push hard once they're out the way? I think he's got to go with the former and try and lose as little time as possible. So thankfully for Smiley there, Highfield's penalty helped him through there, because now he's got to negotiate 3 cars and absolutely no space. Let's see, can he get these moves done? one down, or he's got the run here. You imagine you're just on pure traction would have gobbled this, gobbled the Corvette up. He's making good progress here. Oh, it's a squirrel there. We're going back in trouble. I'm not totally sure what the pit time is, but it's 25 seconds to the lead at the moment. But almost certainly he's doing an extra stop. I'd imagine Penelope's going to want to pit once everyone else has pitted, because then she won't be going through what Smiley's going through at the moment, although he's negotiated it well so far, I'd have to say. He's lost a little bit of time, but still in the 29s. Is he going to try and get a move done here? If the fast right-hander is going to put a lot of trust in Lucky here not to turn across him, but trust well planted, just had too much, you know, just a high performance to carry speed through. SH done, NG done box. We've got Soda's Gloss Boss as well. Aston Martin pit crew, and they're notching Racer Green Ovals go to work. Mercedes is in, as is the Corvette crew. That's helped Smiley greatly, so he's up into P3. And it's 23 seconds on the pit now. So as I said, we know he's going to have to pit again. I'd imagine Nagel's in this lap. And Penelope's probably got the gap now that she needs to pit into. Oh, Smiley was having a hell of a moment behind me, just saw. Who's got a penalty now? Was it the Filthy? It's a great shot there. The guys all running through and pushing those limits as hard as they can. Yeah, Penelope pits now. I think Nagel's going to pit, which is what he's tried to show there. Yeah, he's got his indicator on. So, I imagine she's going to come out behind it. Yeah, she's going to come out behind. She won't be panicking because she knows she's got a pit stop in hand. Fuel going in as well, which obviously the other guys didn't have to do, so it's another factor for her. There's a lot of pit stops going on right now. Fuel going on board. It's really busy pit lane right now. But see all the pit crews getting to work, some damage to repair there as well. What gap has Smiley got then? 10 seconds, but he's got the more warm tyres. Penelope has come out, it couldn't have worked out much better for her. She's got 5 seconds to Panda, and by the time she catches, the tyres will be shot to pieces. What Chunky's play is, he's gone into softs. It's interesting. I thought he might run mediums the whole way. I didn't think we'd see much strategy variety tonight with it being a lower deck track, but we are going to see a mixture, I think, of 1, 2 and 3 stops. So again, until the actually, will we three stops? Yeah, I'd imagine Chunky's going to have to. He's done 1 stop. That's definitely pit again. Is he going to get mediums to the end? So no, we're probably looking at 1 and 2 stop strategies, aren't we? I don't. Yeah, Pan's gone mediums on this run. I think to have a race, we need Penelope not to just cruise right past Panda. But until she gets to him, let's get back to oh no, Heidfeld, 1.5 seconds again. absolute killer for him. Fantastic pace, but the penalties will be really hurting. Because that one, there's an absolute stack of drivers behind. So we've got MG here and Has. MG trying to defend the inside. Will Has go trying to nip on the outside, or is he going to go for the switchback? And now he tried to go for the switchback, but it's blocked, and now he's lost position to Lucky. What a shot that is of the cars all coming down the hill. Again, MG defends the inside and then tries to immediately block the switchback, which I think he's so far successfully done. I think Glossboss having to pay that damage has put him right back down. But yeah, we will check out that it's all it's been reasonable to me. Some of it's been on the edge, but we should see. So can Highfive now survive the penalty? Did a lot of momentum loss. So it's allowed the Filthy now to get 2.8 seconds ahead of him. It's put these guys on him, but for now he hasn't lost any more positions than the one he lost to Filthy. But yeah, he's got a pack of 4 cars. I haven't got yellow flag somewhere. No, it's already stopped, so that's good. Oh no, yellow flag's back on. I wonder who that's for. You can see Highfive staying very committed. It's one of those, if you start driving conservatively, you're going to lose the positions anyway, so you've always got to just stay committed, just avoid limits if you can. MG and Lucky again side by side here. MG's been good at braking early and blocking the switchback. Oh, was the room left on the outside down? Not sure. These guys are 3 wide. I just hope this doesn't end in tears, because you're constantly slipstream into hard braking zones, which can make for great racing, but can make for potential incidents as well. But this is Elba's out time for sure. Now Lucky's ended up at the back of this queue. It just seems like it has to be a massive balance that when you're almost going for the moves, it puts you at risk of, if you don't get the moves done on the car ahead, that you're instantly under threat from the car behind. But yeah, it's just some tough old racing going on here tonight. But it is what we love. It is GT racing. The cars do take damage, but they're not made of glass, so they won't fall apart either. Chunky's in. So it's going to be tricky. Can he get mediums to the end, or is he just going to? Is he going to do 2 more softs? I wonder. Steve now with the half-second penalty. How's he going to try and get this done on the outside? Is he? Again, he's got to try and brake late, but not run into MG ahead. Or does he brake early and try and get the switch back? Looks like he's going to... No, switch back's blocked again. It's tricky, because if you can't get it done on the outside, as we saw earlier, sometimes it's actually braking early as your friend and you can get the switch back, but these drivers are very wary of it and almost defending that switch back straight away. In a minute, Steve-O is going to serve a penalty, which is going to put him under real pressure from his guys behind. Penelope's up to Panda, or just off him, so we'll come back to that one. The Filthy though, this is letting him get away, and he's had to be patient earlier and bide his time, but he's up to a P5 at the minute, and a fairly comfortable P5, but again, Highfield's now been able to drag himself away from this fighting pack. The Batman's fantastic, but it does slow you down, because you're compromising lines, you have to compromise corner speed to either leave route. Highfield then has a major wobble at the last corner, but what a save that was, Alonso-esque. And actually managed to do his personal best lap on that lap. Look at that lap when he's done it. It's only 4 tenths off the fastest lap, so it shows good pace. So this is key. How quickly can Penelope clear Panda? Because we're going to have a very similar situation to last week's race. Smiley's going to have to pit again and come back at her. How much time he has to make up is probably determined by how long Penelope needs to get past Panda. That's going to be the race. Now, it's interesting, what does Panda do here? Because this isn't his race. And the interest for his race is probably just let it go and lose me all the time he's lost. But for us to have a race for the lead, we probably need him to not do that. So hopefully put TRL's competitiveness before his own here, but we'll see. I can't imagine he's going to waver through, but how hard will he fight it? Because she is right on his bumper right now. He's definitely giving it as much of a squeeze as he can into there. Let's get back to the outside. Ah, it's done. Minimal time loss really, the gap 17. Smiley's going to have to pit and put fuel in, so that's going to be a slower stop, and then he's got to try and come at like the clappers again like he did last week and just hope he can hunt her down. That was the key really for Penelope. Could she clear the Ferrari in quick speed? Pan did fight it, the problem was he just couldn't move over soon enough. She was on him so quickly down that straight. I thought now really this is the pace we knew he had. He's just fortunately restricted himself with some track limit penalties and also some issues just with the battling has been ferocious, but he's all over the filthy right now. Panda ahead has to stop. So right now he's looking like he's on course for a class win. It should be a fantastic effort. He's had a really tough transition onto the Fanatec GT7 wheel. Obviously long term probably always knew these benefits are coming, but you've got to ride through that initial period, which isn't easy when you made such a big financial investment in your racing equipment, and then you actually initially have a downturn. It's like anything, it's muscle memory. You've got to get used to the new equipment that you have, but long term that equipment, and just stick with it, it's going to just, well, one, it's going to add to your immersion, but it definitely will add performance as well, particularly with the load cell pedal that he now has. Again, something that definitely takes getting used to. I don't have one myself, but I have experienced them before, and it's just natural that because it's done on pressure rather than distance, it's far more accurate, easier to be consistent with pressure than it is travel, you know, so it really allows you to modulate your braking and trail brake a lot more, which with the weight transfer and in the game's handling, you know, that is a real key factor to have. Yeah, he's flying right now. Most important for him, he's got himself out of this pack who are fighting themselves to the death for here. You see that it's starting to get a bit later in the day here, so temperature's probably cooling, which will aid the tyre wear. Smiley's in. Where he comes out is going to be crucial. Surely he's not going to be able to will he be able to clear that pack? Because even if he got out behind Heifeld, if he wanted to clear Heifeld, he's going to have to put fuel in, so this is your key now. This is what's going to hurt him, because if it was just a tyre change, he'd be out. Right, so SH is going to be through. Is he though? God, this is going to be close on the exit here. He is. SH is through. Smiley's straight out to. He's going to have to go for the tyre warm-up phase, but he's going to have very fresh tyres. He needs them. We've got 10 laps to go. Gap to lead is 16 seconds. He could have really done with getting out ahead of this Aston, but provided he clears the Aston, he needs just over a second and a half a lap. At the minute, his tyres aren't that warm, so but SH's are more worn, obviously. I think overall Smiley's had the better pace tonight, but he's still got to get the job done. I do love the new livery on that Aston Martin. It is traditional Aston Martin colours as well, which is nice to see. Pardon me, that yawn is not a reflection of the racing. It's been a long ass day. Spent the afternoon in the park. with my daughter and family. Gone for the drama of watching the Austrian Grand Prix and the England match earlier, and now the drama of my own race in the GT class, and now spectating on this race, which again, we've had a lot of hard racing, but we have another battle for the lead. We did early on, but unless Smiley can clear the Aston here, we're not going to get a battle for the lead tonight either, I'm afraid. Can he get it done? Oh, goes to the late on the brakes. Carries good speed. It's a good move. The move's done. So, as we said, he's going to need just over a second and a half a lap here to bring this to reel her in. Personally, I think it's going to be too much, but we shall see. But that's not a battle we're going to have to worry about, I don't think, for a while. I don't think SH will have the tyres to come back at him, so let's see what's happening behind. To be fair, the Filth has now maintained a decent gap to Highfield. But yeah, we've still close behind. They've started to spread a little bit more. But probably here's the battle now, slightly further back in this one. Now Panda's going to be one to watch, because again, he's had to commit to the extra stop, so he's going to be fast as lightning, trying to come through on his quicker tyres versus the traffic. Can he get? Oh, I was going to say it's a tricky place to get a move done there. But I think Loss had already committed to the move, so sorry, to the corner. I say it's most weeks, but for me, what a beautiful sounding car this is. See, the sun is setting in what's been a warm day here in Austria. The track will be cooling slightly now. Not quite sure why Panda's just put the wipers on, but there we go. But when I'd have thought you expect him almost to be flying through the field here, but it's not easy to overtake. You haven't got the DRS or ERS here to get moves done. And as soon as you step out of the slipstream, particularly on a car that's quick on the straights like the Corvette, once you come out of the slipstream trying to get the move done, you lose the benefit of that slipstream, so it makes things a lot trickier. Now Grossboss, who's seen it, has gone from the Hunted to the Hunter, trying to get move done here on Stevie. Is Grossboss going to drag that? He's going to have to, I think, but try and get those to the end, because it's a little bit iffy on the tyres. Oh, real wobble there. But yeah, Stevo seems to be slightly stretching ahead actually at this stage. He's just on board a minute with the Corvette. But I love the variety in the cars here, the variety of exteriors, interiors, liveries. There's such variety in the field, engine sounds, you know. Gross has picked up a penalty there, it's going to be unfortunate for him. I think he's almost waved Panda through there, realises he's not in the same race as him this evening. These guys are fighting hard for the GT Class Championship. Unfortunately, I think Dad had some kind of internet issue earlier which takes up the race. It's so unfortunate. It's a bit like, I guess, the equivalent of a real life mechanical failure. It's out of the driver's hands and lightly unfortunate, but yeah, unfortunately sometimes these things do happen. Thankfully, touch wood, we've been fairly few of those issues ever since we brought the race time forward, which was one of the slight worries of starting a bit late tonight. Prolifically Digital never actually say that there's an issue racing late on Sunday nights, but I think it is about the time where they update the daily races ready for the next day, so I think sometimes that's why we do get issues when we race a bit later, but we'll be back to normal from next week. Panda next on his hit list will be Papa Steve. I'm interested to see how many places can he get back up to. Now, if the guys ahead are battling like mad, then that might again allow him to make up more time on his fresher tyres. Steve looks like he's going to defend the inside here. Just perfect in tight, so he can move back to race line provided Panda's not alongside, which now he is. The room has to be left. Oh, it's dicey. See, there's a bit of contact which forces Panda to have a bit of an oversteer moment, which almost brought him back into Steve-O. But again, can he get it done on the outside here? Does he need to brake early, look for the switchback? We haven't seen that move that often, have we? So more people trying to hang it around the outside. I'm so not going to tell any of these guys what to do with the pace they have, but I think occasionally sometimes braking early might be the friend there rather than the foe. But yeah, battle resumes again, I should say. McLaren versus Ferrari. I mean, how many times have we seen this battle over the years? They're bringing Gloss back into contention here. I think on pure pace again tonight, Panda's been right up there, but the tyre wear is just killing them at the moment. We thought it might not be as much of a factor here on a low deck track, but it certainly has been. Now reading the minimap, I'm just going to make sure I've got the drivers right here, because I think that is Penelope up here. Yeah, unfortunately Smiley's just not making the inroads that he needs to, so I think it's going to be another comfortable win for her. SH Dunn's comfortable in 3, the Filthy in 4, oh, Hypher's got no penalty. I wonder if without the penalties maybe he could have got himself on the podium here today. Yeah, it's actually going to be the Filthy, I think, that's going to take the class win tonight. A real dark horse in that championship, you know, often goes under the radar, mainly because he's just very sensible in races. He's quick, but often works the time management well, the strategy well, keeps us out of bother most of the time. He could, particularly with Dad and 4 shots 17 tonight, Gloss and Panda are struggling. This could be a real chance for him to really make a big statement points-wise in that GT championship. Alright, so Panda's got past Steve. Gloss is now making a move at the inside as well. Puts Theo down to P11. I'm sorry we haven't been able to show these guys further back a bit more tonight. There's been so much going on. We've got Beeman in 12, Apex in 13, Chunky. It's been another difficult night for him. I'd imagine the tyre wear's played a big part there. Newek sticking at it. Did well to get through in P8. Tough when you come in here and trying to compete at this level, the top of the GT class and the GT Pro class in itself. Damn hard to compete with, and Super was about to be lapped by Penelope, but there's no shame in that. You know, this is, and you think how dominant Smiley was last year in the championship, and you know she's leaving him for dust at the moment. It's just really it's that extra, that stop that she's saving is just making such a difference. But yeah, what's Panda's gap? I don't think he's going to be able to make that up, because he's going to start losing performance himself on those tyres. Been a tough night for a few drivers that we're used to seeing a bit further up. You know, Gloss, Panda, Lucky, Chunky, you know, we're used to seeing these guys a lot further up. It's so competitive now. You have any issues with your tyre wear, with your own driving performance, you know, it just gets pounced upon. There's no margin for error anymore. He is making inroads to the car's head, but I don't think it's going to be enough. So I think really we're probably back on this battle here, aren't we? Whereas again, Steele's got the better tyres. Can he try and get this himself back in the top 10? Is that going to be limits though for him? We'll soon find out. It's really pushing them hard. Yeah, it's 1.5. So that's going to be a combination of 2 penalties there. It's going to hurt him. Very punishing track on the track limits, as we've seen. Oh, this might be another one. Yeah, 2.5. It's going to be an absolute killer. You might see there, Pan's giving himself a half. like, oh, that was a big loss of track. Was it a loss of traction, or was it just accelerating on the curve there that caused that? Right, so we've got Haas in P6 here, MG right behind in P7, Lucky in P8. Panda trying to catch them, but again, he's in a really good P3 earlier, but it's just hardly making those extra stops. Not only, as we said earlier, the loss of the pit stop, it's coming back through the traffic is just not easy. Yeah, Haas defending the inside. Is he defending that inside too early, I wonder? But yeah, it's perfectly fine to move back over to the racing line as Mercedes stablemate. MG Dunn was not alongside. MG Dunn's got the better tyres here though. Lucky with a 2-second penalty behind, just as he was on the back of this. It'll be disappointing for him for sure. Quite wow, look at this glowing orange and even red brakes there on the front of that Mercedes. There's a good chance here of MG getting a P6 just with the tyre advantage, but can he get the move done? Or can he potentially pressure Hasn't a mistake? There's been so many track limit warning and penalties given this evening. Starts to go dark here. Yeah, it's going to be killer for Lucky, I think, once he has to serve this penalty. Because we say this all the time, it's not just the 2 seconds you lose all your momentum. You probably end up doubling the actual penalty that it is. We'll soon see how big his gap is soon on these guys. I'll say though, Nagel plays on the pad, as does Smiley, to be fair. The job they do is incredible. Yes, this game obviously it's made by one of PlayStation's core developers, so the pad was factored in, but you'd imagine certainly consistently advantage is always going to go to the wheels, so the job that him and Smiley do is unreal. He's actually maintaining a decent gap to MG here, so he might well be able to hold on to it. Quickly just check on the gap there, 12 seconds. Oh, new X's round, it's a shame. Smiley's got a penalty though, so yeah. The 12 seconds, it was coming down, but it's just not coming down by anywhere near enough, unfortunately. I think, yeah, De Filthy's going to get the class win here as well. I was saying that Haifa would have picked up a couple of bonus points for the win in the GT race area, qualifying race that was. This is our main on-track battle at the moment, although Penelope would have obviously started her last lap here, I think. Yeah. So we'll give her a moment in the sun in just a second. Well, a moment in the fading sun, we should say. But as we approach this last lap, I wonder if MG can nick this P6 on the slightly fresher tyres. Panda's going to be disappointed to be down in P9 with the pace he showed earlier. Probably too far back, isn't he, to make these fresher tyres count. Wolfie's closing in a bit here on SH, but again it's not going to be enough. Smiley's done all he can to try and bring this gap down, but I think the penalties are just hurting. So we have to give full credit again to this lady. Penelope's just driving out of her skin at the moment, so consistent week after week. To make it 6 wins out of 7, total domination. But yeah, as Penelope takes your race win. Smiley's had the 1 lap pace. It's just, we thought the tyre wear may not be as big a factor, but he's had to make that extra stop and it's just killer. will wonder whether he could have dragged that out at all to maybe match her on the pit stops. But yeah, so it's done hanging on. Oh no, it's not quite hanging on because it's a lap car behind. But yeah, P3, the filthy P4, Highfield probably sums up his night, but he's been exceptionally quick, and overall he'd be happy for P5, but penalties have hurt him tonight. Nagel holds on to P6, MG Dunn takes P7, Lucky P8, Panda P9. Lost Boss is going to come home for P10. Papa Steve-O P11. Beeman's going to come home. I'm sorry about get much attention this evening, Beeman, but yeah, takes P12. Again, same with Apex. I think it's done a great bit of him tonight at P13. Another difficult night, unfortunately, for Chunky Body. The car and the tyre wear playing a factor there. But P14, Nurex, as we saw, was lapped in P15. He did well to make it through, so welcome to him. Smiley with your fastest lap. So yeah, some tough old racing there tonight. I'll make sure we just save this replay. Let's get the results. So yeah, confirmation then. Penelope with your race win. Smiley in P2 with the fastest lap. SH Dunn P3. The Filthy P4. Highfield P5. But look how close Highfield was on pace with Penelope. I wonder what could have been without the track limit penalties this evening, but still fantastic result in P5. Hasnagel P6. MG Dunn P7. Lucky P8. Panda, who's running a really good P3 early on, P9, Glossboss P10, Steve-O P11, Beeman P12, Apex P13, Chunky P14, and Nurex P15. Thank you for everyone for joining us this evening. Next week we will be at Brands Hatch, which is the last race before the mid-season break. So we'll look forward to seeing you then. Thank you everyone, and have a good